Alright, so the next step after you get all of your note cards organized and grouped into 2 to 3 piles, your next goal here is to write a structural paragraph, which is basically like an outline of just your thesis and topic sentences. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Since, I really thought that the Sprinkles Bakery organization was a lot more effective than the Killer Whale one due to the fact that the Sprinkles one used multiple sources in each grouping. I'm going to use that one as my example. So on my website, I listed some questions for you to answer in your structural paragraph. So I'm going to kind of use those as a guide, and I'm actually going to use Microsoft Word just to type it out here, make sure that everything's spelled right, etc. And then I'm going to copy and paste it into my blog WordPress, which is what you should do as well. Alright, so first it says type your research question. So this student's research question originally was, how did the baking industry begin? Okay, so from there it says type the answer to your research question or the thesis statement. So basically, since we had it grouped into 3 different ones, we had the history, let me put history of sprinkles. Then we had success of sprinkles. So in other words, like how did they get so successful? As well as the success of sprinkles today. So in other words, how are they still so successful? Okay, so those are kind of the topics. So basically, keep in mind for thesis statements, this would be your 3 different topics for each body paragraph, and your thesis statement is supposed to encompass all 3. So, how did the baking industry begin? When we're just talking about sprinkles, I think I'm going to tweak my question here to read, how did Sprinkles Bakery begin, and how has it remained so successful? Okay, and with that said, now we're going to get the history of sprinkles as well as the success of it, so that would kind of go along with the beginning of sprinkles. And then we're also going to have the success of sprinkles today, which is how they are still so successful. So I'm going to answer that question basically by saying there is a long history of the Sprinkles Bakery, and its success has lasted a very long time. Okay, now since I do have long 2 times here, I could change that to there is a, maybe we could say something like complex history concerning the Sprinkles Bakery, and its success has lasted a very long time. Okay, so this would be our question, this would be our answer, aka our thesis. So now it says type the 2 or 3 reasons that support your thesis statement, which will be 1 sentence each. Well, we have 3. So first of all, there is an interesting history of Sprinkles Bakery. Secondly, Sprinkles Bakery had success fairly early in its, what should we call this here? Writer's block. It sucks. maybe development. We can always reword that later. And finally, Sprinkles Bakery remains successful today. Okay, so those are the three here. And then the last one, it says type your answer to the research question in a different way, which would be your restated thesis. So if this is my thesis here, there's a complex history concerning the Sprinkles Bakery, and its success has lasted a very long time. I could say the now successful Sprinkles Bakery has an exciting history that has continued growing ever since its opening. So basically what I just did was I restated my thesis. So going back, you need to make sure before you submit this completely that you have all of the components, which we just double checked. It's in paragraph format, like I just did. And you're going to want to make sure that your research question is answered in your thesis. Your topic sentences all support your thesis, and then you have a restated one. So I'm going to read this out loud just to check. How did Sprinkles Bakery begin, and how has it remained so successful? There is a complex history concerning the Sprinkles Bakery, and its success has lasted a very long time. First of all, there is an interesting history of Sprinkles Bakery. Secondly, Sprinkles Bakery had success fairly early in its development. Finally, Sprinkles Bakery remains successful today. The now successful Sprinkles Bakery has an exciting history that has continued growing ever since its opening. Okay, so basically your goal here now is to go onto your WordPress account, and like it says here, you're going to title your blog structural paragraph, and you can just copy and paste your edited structural paragraph right into your blog. And then submit it, and basically I will respond with feedback prior to me seeing you tomorrow, and then I'm going to select 3 people's structural paragraphs to show to the class as examples. So if yours is one of those, you will get candy, so definitely use that as an incentive. Okay? Email me if you have questions. Thanks.